Well, Zimbabweans, grab your popcorn and fasten your seatbelts because Godfrey Tsenengamu has logged back into Twitter to remind us all that blessed Geza, the firebrand of the Geza revolution, has officially left the chat. Hold your fire, comrades. Before we drop today's truth grenades, here's a quick message from your rebellious cousins at NetBrowse Media. If you've been wondering why the music on Zimwaves TV now cuts off quicker than a corrupt minister's prison sentence, don't worry, it's not sabotage yet. We are just saving snake-sized intros and outros these days. Why? Because the full course revolution has moved to a new table. That's right. NetBrowse Media has launched a new YouTube channel, Zim Anonymous. This is for music by Zim Anonymous, the revolutionary music that we always play here on Zimwaves TV. The anthems that once opened and closed our broadcast like a lion's roar are now living their best life in full length elsewhere. If you have been craving the entire soundtrack of Resistance, not just the opening notes, go tune in and turn up the volume. The channel link is hiding in the video description like stolen gold in a party office. Go fetch it like a loyal ZANU-PF tenderpreneur chasing a shady deal. Now that the music is free and the vibe is alive, let's dive back into today's no holds barred commentary, because here at Zimwaves TV we don't just talk, we unmask the whole circus. Tsenengamu has logged back into Twitter to remind us all that blessed Geza, the firebrand of the Geza revolution, has officially left the chat. And in true backseat driver fashion, he has arrived not to lead, not to fight, not to organize, but to say, "I told you so." How noble. Apparently, Tsenengamu believes he is now the prophet of lost causes, standing on the mountain of hindsight, shouting at everyone below, "Didn't I warn you he would disappear?" Meanwhile, the rest of Zimbabwe is asking, "Wait, are you still here?" According to Tsenengamu's keyboard sermon, the reason blessed Geza vanished isn't because the system is unjust or because the state apparatus is built like a mafia syndicate wearing a presidential scarf. No, apparently Geza simply underestimated the mystical dragon called Emerson Dambodzo Mnangagwa, the man, the myth, the crocodile who pretends to be dumb. Tsenengamu says this is not stupidity. Oh no, it's character, strategic foolishness. Ladies and gentlemen, Mnangagwa is not sleeping at the wheel. He is faking narcolepsy to trap his enemies. How poetic. Zimbabwe, the only country where failure to govern is rebranded as 4D chess. Now, let's look at Tsenengamu's 3 golden commandments for taking on Mnangagwa. Rule number 1, don't announce your plans before executing them, because nothing says revolution like a surprise party, right? According to him, blessed Geza's real sin was transparency, telling the people what he stood for and organizing in public. Imagine that. Being honest with the nation is now considered a fatal mistake. Zimbabwean politics, where truth-telling is suicide and lying is an Olympic sport. Rule number 2, capture key institutions. Yes, just a little friendly advice from a man who once dabbled in the corridors of ZANU-PF before being booted out of the political temple. You see, in Zimbabwe, democracy doesn't stand a chance unless you first hijack the judiciary, the security forces, and the electoral commission. According to Tsenengamu, this isn't corruption. It's just a necessary step to level the playing field. That's like telling someone to win a marathon by stealing everyone else's shoes. But hey, in Zimbabwe's upside-down world, ethics are for the broke and powerless. And if you are not holding the gun, you are just the target. And the third commandment? Money. Lots of it. Because apparently without financial muscle, you are just a hashtag away from irrelevance. Tsenengamu wants us to believe that Geza's undoing wasn't the CIO, the military, or state repression. It was a weak wallet. Never mind the fact that Zimbabwe's own constitution is trampled daily like a doormat at State House. Forget that dissent is criminalized, elections are rigged, and journalists are abducted. Nope, you just need more eco-cash. Maybe Blessed Geza should have applied for a presidential empowerment grant or borrowed from Taguire's offshore accounts before daring to dream of a better Zimbabwe. But then comes the ultimate punchline. Tsenengamu declares that nothing can stop Mnangagwa's 2030 agenda because, in his words, no one has the strength to challenge it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final form of bootlicking prophetic surrender. Not even pretending anymore, Tsenengamu has gone from critic to clairvoyant court jester, predicting Mnangagwa's eternal rule with all the enthusiasm of a state broadcaster reading ZBC News at gunpoint. Learn or perish, he says, as if this were a martial arts movie and Mnangagwa is the master who is just teaching us peasants a lesson. In this twisted fantasy, tyranny is just tough love and submission is the new wisdom. But here's what Tsenengamu won't tell you. That Blessed Geza spoke truth to power in ways a few people dared. That the Geza revolution ignited conversations across the diaspora, and that even if the man has disappeared from the public eye, the discontent he exposed is very much alive. The people are gone. The anger hasn't faded. The state may have silenced one voice, but a million more are humming the same song in whispers and in chord. So, to Tsenengamu and to his camp of spiritual realists, here's a newsflash. Courage doesn't always win in the short term, but cowardice never wins in the long run. Mnangagwa's 2030 fantasy might be trudging along with propaganda, fuel, and army boots, but it is not immortal. Every dictatorship looks invincible until the day it isn't. Every Goliath falls, not when the stone is big enough, but when the spirit behind it refuses to give up. To all the people of Zimbabwe still clinging to hope, despite arrests, abductions, poverty, and a political class that speaks in riddles while looting in plain sight, this fight isn't over. And while some former comrades tweet like consultants for tyranny, the real resistance continues, quiet, defiant, and learning from each stumble. This is Zimwaves TV, where we roast the powerful, remember the brave, and remind the nation that no crocodile swims forever. Subscribe before Tsenengamu tweets that we disappeared too.
Vageza kupinda mumugwagwa varwive hondo imi magandanga vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavenda varairi dzine masoja tese tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini kana kuwedza buruwayo kana kumbungo pashurugwi vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavhenda varairi dzine masoja tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini muzvikoro nanachiremba muzvitoro hayasipora vechidiki naivo vatana mawindi memavhenda varairi dzine masoja tese tatomira negumbo rimwe kuti timhanye ko imi muchadaidzira rini.
We will mobilize ourselves to deliver the final blow to a dictatorship that lacks any wisdom or empathy. We are now ready to deliver the final push, a push that needs all of us to face the odds and build a new country. We are going to give you a clearer signal soon. It will come before 2300 hours tonight, so that we end this 2030 business.